Hi, thank you for joining me for the unboxing and review of this Hawkeye Firefly 7S 4K Sports DV action camera. Now, this has a 120-degree wide-angle lens and also 12 MP. So quite impressive specifications. Comes in this nicely packaged box. This is a very thick perspex. There's a little handle on here for whatever it's for, possibly for retail. Okay. Waterproof casing. This is good for a depth of up to 20 meters. So for underwater filming too. It has specifications on the box. I won't go through them in detail, but I'll put the specifications in the description should you want to have a closer look and you're interested. Okay, but I'll be mentioning most of these as we go through this overview. Okay, so let's open up the box. So open it at the bottom, and then this comes out like this. Okay, so nicely presented. The waterproof casings hold on to the top of the box with a thumb screw. We have the external buttons for the corresponding buttons on the camera. Okay, to open the box, we open up here and we've got goodies inside. So let's just go through these quickly. Okay, first of all, it comes with a little manual, and when I say little, so is the lettering. You need glasses or very good eyesight to be able to read this. It's in such small print. But anyway, we just got the basic buttons and functions of the camera, performance and specifications, button functions, video settings, photo settings, system setup settings. Okay. Then this also has Wi-Fi. So you can download an app either onto an Apple device or an Android device, and the app is called Firefly. I won't be going into the Wi-Fi aspects during this overview, but we'll have a closer look at it in a future review. Battery charging, transferring files and accessories, and that's it. The other half of this is in Chinese. Okay. We also get some stickers. We get 3 Velcro straps, not elasticized, but 2 broad ones and 1 narrow one. We get a holder, so the camera clips into this, and then you can either mount it. It's got mounts on both ends depending how you would like to use it, or whether you want access to the top buttons. And then here's a bracket to put in a clip, and here's a belt clip. Okay. And basically this belt clip will just slot into here like that, and then you can clip it on a belt or a strap or anything if you want to use it like that. Thumb screw mount, a USB cable. So to charge the battery you need to plug this into a powered USB or a computer, and the smaller USB into the camera to charge the battery. So it doesn't come with a separate charger or a mains charger. Another thumb screw mount. Okay, clip mounts, 2 clip mounts with adhesive tape. 2 pads of adhesive tape and a steel cable with 2 loops, so if you need to secure it onto something you can use this. Another thumb mount or thumb screw mount, and now also another mount that you can use for a different angle. Handlebar mount and a clip mount, so you can clip and use that for a different angle too. A cleaning cloth and cable ties. Okay, so let me get this out of the way and we'll have a closer look at the camera. Now, to remove this from the waterproof casing, we need to clip this up at the front and then unlatch it from the back over here, and then we can remove the camera. Okay, so this is it. Nice, small, compact. Got a matte rubbery finish. Actually feels like a really good quality finish. And yeah, good grip, good rubber. Okay, got a little front LCD panel which is quite unique and what many action cameras don't have. Here's the power button with an outer LED light. Here's a select button also with an LED light. Then we have selection buttons. Now normally most of them are sort of up over on top of each other. Okay, and then we get a big 2-inch screen. Now this screen has optical glass and not plastic like a lot of other cameras. So that is, apart from it only being big, it is a good quality covering with the optical plastic. Okay, if we have a look and compare this to an SJ cam side by side, okay, it's the same height, but a shallower depth than the SJ 4000 camera, and the same width. Okay, so basically the same size but slightly shallower. I'll put the dimensions in the description as well as links as to where you can get the camera. I'm also going to compare this to this Acmel SD28W action camera. Now this is the stock camera that comes with an XK Detect X380C quadcopter, and we have a look at by comparison to this. Same height, shallower, and same width. Okay, so I'm going to be using this on a 2-axis gimbal on a X380 quadcopter to see if it will help compensate for not having a 3rd axis or a 3-axis gimbal, because one of the great features about this is that it has Gyro image stabilization. So this helps stabilize the image. Okay. Another good feature I like about this is that it seems to have bigger holes for the microphone. So I'm hoping that it will also give better audio than most action cameras, and certainly I hope a lot better than the SJ-Cam 4000, which severely lacks in that department. Okay. And this phone also has its own internal speakers, so if you play back, you can actually play back off of the camera and hear the sound of the recording that you've made. So that's a good thing. And because I'm going to use it on a gimbal, I like the fact that these navigation buttons are here, over there, because with the gimbal it's actually very difficult to try and access these navigation buttons to change any settings on. So I think the positioning of that is better too. And if we also have a look at the SJ-Cam SJ4000, this has got a USB port and a HDMI port. Here's the SD card slot. So it doesn't come with an SD card, you need to supply your own SD card. Okay. Also, let's just have a look at the weights. Okay, with the battery, okay, yeah, the battery goes in here, so to remove the battery you need to slide this cover off here. You take the battery out. Okay, so this comes with a 3.7 volts lithium ion battery, 1050 mAh. Okay, now this should last about 50 minutes, recording at its high rate of 2160p at 24 frames per second. Okay, I'll take you through the resolutions that are available when we go through the settings. But yeah, that's the battery. If you need more time than 50 minutes, you can get a spare battery to use. That really just depends on your requirement, but to me 50 minutes is okay. It takes a SD card up to a maximum of 32 gigabytes, or that's what it says. I might try and put a 64 in and see, because sometimes they say, you know, only up to 32, but nowadays should be able to take the 64, although 32 gigabytes is a lot of capacity. Okay, so let's put it on the scale, and including the battery it weighs 65 grams. We have a look at the SJ-Cam SJ4000. That is 62 grams, so 3 grams heavier than an SJ4000, and 7 grams heavier than the Akbal SD28W camera. Okay, so I'm just going to set it up so that we can get a better view, and I'll take you through the settings on the camera. Okay, so if we have a look at the camera, we have the power button over here, we have a select button there, and we have the 2 navigation buttons over here. So let's power it on. Press the power button. Okay, the screen comes on at the back here. Okay, then the first thing we get is the various setting menu. So we can press the option button to have a look at movie settings, and that's the movie setting. Okay. We can navigate by continuously pressing the power button or one of the navigation buttons on the side. Then we look at the photo settings. Okay, this gives you the picture. Okay, sorry if you can't see these little icons too clearly. Okay. Then we have time-lapse settings. Okay. Burst settings. Playback. Oops, sorry, let's just take that back. And you get the screen for playback. Navigate through here. Okay, then we get to the main setting menu. Okay, so first of all we can select Wi-Fi on or off. Okay, we can select GSD on or off. We can select the frequency, and let's just have a look at what frequencies we've got. We can go 50 Hertz or 60 Hertz. We can select the white balance. Okay, we can select the ISO. We can select color. We can select sharpness. We can select exposure. We can turn the gyro stabilization on or off. You can select the TV mode, so that this will be PAL or let's just have a look. Yeah, PAL or NTSC. Then we can select, oops, sorry, let's get it back in focus. TV out, so this is good for FPV, or if you want to play the camera back through TV. Got the option for auto power off, screensaver, date and time, beep sound, language, image rotation, so you can rotate it 180 degrees if you want. You can format the SD card from the camera, revert to default settings, and then see which version it is. So this says, you can't see that clearly, Firefly 0813001. Okay, so these are all the settings. We won't go through each of them in detail, but at least will give you an idea of what settings there are available. Now, the little front LED here, I'm not sure if you can see that too clearly, also shows us, and we can navigate through the settings if we want to. But you'd obviously need to get to know a little bit better and recognize these icons for all those settings. Okay, then we go back into normal mode. It tells us over here which resolution or setting it's in, the camera, whether it's taking video or not. We've got the date and the time, and then the time that it records. Now let's just have a look and go back to the settings here quickly. Then if we could just go to the navigation button here, we have a look. we can select resolution. Let's just go there, select. Okay, so we got 1080p at 30 frames per second, 720p at 120 frames per second, 720p 60 frames per second, WVGA P30, and VGA P30. Okay, so the top rate is 2160p at 24 frames per second. Navigate out of this. Okay, we can go to loop recording, turn that on or off, go to time lapse and select time lapse. We've got the option for auto recording, video voice, so you can switch audio on or off, WDR, diving mode, remove fisheye, so you know that's a good thing if you don't want fisheye, and some of the cameras you don't have that option. Motion detection, you can turn motion detection on or off. Now this also has night mode, so this is good because you can change it for night mode if you need to, or record at night. You can change the bit rate, you can change the display or the date stamp and set the date and time, and you can set the angle. Okay, so yeah, quite a good menu, quite a varied menu. And if you press to start recording, you can see it's recording. The blue LED around the power button flashes, and the blue LED there, because I've been caught out where I thought, you know, the camera has been recording and been very disappointed afterwards to see that it hasn't been recording. So this definitely shows you that it is recording. Okay, so let me just set it back to normal. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this camera performs. I'm going to be doing a few more reviews. First of all, to see how it compares to the SJ4000 camera, you know, just through normal day-to-day either driving or walking and that. But have a closer look and try and get an idea how well the Wi-Fi app works, and also the range of the Wi-Fi, because there's no information available on the range of the Wi-Fi, and that could be a limitation or a big plus. And then also going to be doing some aerial footage on the gimbal to see how well that works, and the stabilization. So yeah, this fits on quite comfortably over here. As I mentioned earlier, I've got much easier access to these little navigation buttons now because it's not obstructed by the motor, and you know, difficult to see the back screen on the rear of the cradle on the gimbal. So it's going to be a big advantage having this little LCD screen in the front. So I'm hoping, you know, that it will be good, but only one way to find out. So yes, if you'd like to see the progress, please subscribe, and you'll be notified of any updates or reviews as they come along. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. Cheerio.